Joining us now, Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She was just named to a new role in Democratic leadership as a vice chair of the Steering and Policy Committee, and she joins us now. First of all, congratulations on a new term yourself. I know you wanted to be in the majority.
Thank you. That would be better, but play the hand of stealth.
There you go. And in fact, you know, describe that. Look, a lot of us will sit here and say, being in the minority in the House, basically all you have is a megaphone and a press release. It's very hard to actually legislate. How can you legislate? Can you? How will you go about trying to get involved in the legislative process in the House of Representatives?
Well, Chuck, I've been in the minority and the majority over my time in Congress and my time in the Florida legislature. And the way you legislate as a member of the minority party is by building relationships. It is very important that as a legislator, that in order to be effective, you reach across the aisle as a caucus, but also as an individual. Now, I mean, as a caucus, what we've said is that we are ready and willing to work with the Republicans and find common ground, but we're going to measure their proposals by the following yardstick. You know, does it create jobs? Does it reduce the deficit? And does it enhance the middle class and turn the economy around? If it doesn't do those things, and by all indications so far out of the gate, they are failing miserably on those measures, then we're going to have a problem. But individually, members are able to build relationships across the aisle and legislate on an individual basis.
Well, Congressman, as you know, the Speaker-to-be, John Boehner, is proposing a more open process in terms of legislating, saying there will be open amendments on spending bills, that the bills will be written in committee as opposed to in the Speaker's office, and that they're going to put the text of these bills online for 3 days so that the minority party and the press and the public can look at that. Are these good changes? And if they are, in terms of process, why didn't the Democrats do that when they had control?
Savannah, therein lies the hypocrisy, because what they say is not as important as what they do. I mean, just look at the rule where they're saying they're going to put a bill out there 3 days before it's voted on the floor. The little exception that they don't mention is the Rules Committee. Every single bill that goes through the process and to the floor goes to the Rules Committee first. They won't be allowing bills 3 days advance notice before floor action when it goes to the Rules Committee. So essentially, that's a meaningless reform. If we're serious, then they would include the Rules Committee. The other examples of their hypocrisy are that they're giving one person, the chairman of the Budget Committee, Paul Ryan, the authority to set the budget ceilings on his own. Now, I watched the Tea Party candidates across this country talk about the importance of one vote, right, and they are willingly giving over their votes that their constituents sent them here to cast to one guy who's going to set the budget ceilings for the entire country. I know my constituents didn't send me here to cede my constitutional right to one member.
Congresswoman,
do you believe
the 2012 campaign starts today?
I think the 2012 campaign started on November 3rd. I mean, you know, what we are going to continue to do is make sure that the American people understand that our priority as Democrats is turning the economy around, creating jobs. Remind them that before President Obama was sworn in, the economy was losing 750,000 jobs a month. And last year, Chuck, the economy created over 1 million private sector jobs, more jobs last year alone than in President Bush's entire presidency. And we have, in the lame duck session, it was finally talked about. I saw you talk about it at the end of the lame duck. We had a historic success in the last Congress, and we're going to continue that progress because the number one thing is to get Americans back to work.
All right, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is the new vice chair of the Steering and Policy Committee and a new member of the minority party in the House today. Congresswoman, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you both.